Hey everybody, welcome to a little Northern Lion Plays Mario Maker. A lot of people wondering what's gonna come in this Eden slot. Phrasing maybe not the best there. What's gonna happen in this Eden slot at 10 a.m. Pacific time every single day? The long answer is I don't know. The short answer is I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to play a little bit more Mario Maker. If you don't mind, I think it's gonna be a fun time. And I'm gonna use this to showcase maybe some levels that are a little harder than I would do on stream while having some banter over top of it. This is Chompy Claw Cave from Toast Hut, a member of the community. I saw Mouth playing this, and it's kind of the genesis for this whole series. Said to myself, you know what, at the time that Mouth started playing it, it had 0 clears. Now it has 1 clear. So you never know. Maybe we could be the second clear. But ironically, a 0.17% clear rate is really not that bad. Compared to some of the Apollo levels were right around there. So I've only seen screen 1. I've only seen screen 1 and I haven't even seen up to the checkpoint. The way I understand it, this is a looping level. There's some loops to be done. Similar to one of the levels we posted on Twitch as a Twitch VOD. And I gotta admit, Mouth, he's making it look easy. Then he has been playing it for like 2 or 3 hours. At this, maybe even longer than that by this point. But we need some muscle memory here. I mean, this is not even like the hard part of the level. So you gotta, hold on, I'm gonna close the door. We got a little bit of background vacuum noise. A little bit of background vacuum noise coming in. And we're just gonna send it, dude. So this is like a little bit... here's the thing. Basically, Mario Maker for now is like my perfect holding pattern video game. I know people are like, do an XCOM campaign or play Chimera Squad. We may. Honestly, we may. I would say both of those are on the short list. However, those are big time investments, you know? Those are like 30, 40, 50 episode... Chimera Squad, probably not as much, but those are big time investments relative to a series where you can be like, okay, one more, okay, one more, okay, no more. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Delightfully devilish, Seymour. Delightfully devilish. So, for now, something that's a little bit more flexible and allows you to be like, hey, you know, if this episode ends up being an hour long, then so be it. This episode ends up being an hour long. We don't have to record... What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't have to record 25 of them today to get ahead or anything like that, so we ain't sweating it. But for now, basically, I mean, this is a very long way of just saying I like Mario Maker. And I really like playing tough Super Mario Maker 2 levels. There you go. So we're gonna send it. I don't know, this one, I'm not gonna say it's too hard for me. But 3.5 minutes in, we have not even really made it to the first difficult obstacle, in my opinion. At least, like, from watching Mouth play it. Look, streamers are always like, no backseating, no backseating. But they have the same, they're you or me, you know? They're just normal people for the most part. You know, they might wear a little bit more, 100 Thieves gear, but apart from that, they're just normal individuals. And they complain about things that the average person would be embarrassed to complain about. Oh, my sponsor deal wants me to sign a contract, but I don't want to sign it. I want to sign it in 4 days. But, like, apart from that, they're normal people, okay? But we say the same things that you might say. Like, when I watch Mouth play this, I'm like, hey, dummy, why'd you jump into the muncher? You just gotta jump around the muncher and then go through the bottom portion here and you got nothing to worry about. It turns out that in execution, this level is a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's not like it appears easy. It's not like it appears to be the easiest level of all time, but actually it's hard. It appears to be quite difficult. It also does use 2 very, let's call them not that well-liked obstacles in the Mario Maker community. Claws and Munchers. Claws, I don't mind. I don't really mind Munchers either. The only thing is they do have a hitbox that is larger than the actual physical size of the object appears to be there. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you gotta munch. Munchers gotta munch. One of these days, dude, I'm telling you. One of these days we're gonna make it straight through, and that's gonna lower our delta, and we're gonna be able to do so many runs as a result. Okay, that one you gotta swing. There's no choice but to swing on that one. If you don't swing on that one, you got problems. You may hear a slight high-pitched whir/electric whining sound in the background. This is just the vacuum cleaner. Once it is, let me just put it this way. For 45 seconds or so, up to half an hour, you will hear it, but you'll get used to it. And then when it finishes, you're gonna have the most delightful feeling of blissful calm. That's how I rationalize it. Is like, it's almost like having an itch when you get, or you know what it is? It's like being sick, and I apologize for using this during this unique period of human history, but that doesn't count, huh? How are we gonna do this then? Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, you gotta loop around the bottom, of course. And then, like, you know, if you're sick for like a week, you forget what it's like to be normal, right? Hold on. But then that first day you wake up without a stuffed up nose, without a blocked nostril, you're like, oh, that's lungs getting filled with oxygen. It's a beautiful thing, right? Oh my god, that was majestic. Speaking of a beautiful thing there. Oh! That's the way I would describe the audio environment. You forget that you had it, and then all of a sudden, you're like, ah, this is blissful peace. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. One of these. That jump over the muncher. I do know that after watching Malf play, Toast Hut, who is the creator of the level, did make it easier in some ways. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, at 7 minutes in, still struggling with essentially the first part of Checkpoint 1, I would say that this is a big positive. I would say, I mean, I think that's a tweak that's positive for accessibility. I mean, we're talking about 1 in 517 clears. It's not like, you know, you took it from super expert to easy. You really, well, I didn't commit because I knew the commit wasn't going to get us there, so I was like, maybe I can come back, but there's no way that's happening. That's a one and done situation there. You might have taken it from vanity project for the creator that nobody else could beat and you could watch them suffer to, hey, they'll suffer for a little bit, but they might actually be able to cross that flag at some point. Okay, that is just a good loop right there. I still think you can do that in one fell swoop. Okay, so you gotta hit this and we're coming back around to the bottom. Just let it settle. Having to do that twice is bad, but I'm here to tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm pretty sure you may have to do it twice. You may have to do it twice per loop and loop once. But we'll see. This is getting... We're getting a lot better at the part prior to the muncher jump. I can respect it. I can respect it. I mean, again, this is not a foreign concept for me. Most of Apollo's Checkpoint League levels did require this kind of trial and error. Maybe not on Checkpoint 1. Sometimes on Checkpoint 1, but... You know, we're talking like... Probably on average, it was like 35 minutes per checkpoint. Again, once you send it, you put yourself in a weird position, right? Because you're like, I might as well take it the whole way, but if I'm not gonna make it, what's the point? You're like, it's like a botched rocket launch. Okay, good focus. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing new stuff. Okay. Now, hey, let's go. Yeah, just in case you get this in endless, you won't be upset. Hello. Okay, we messed up the claw jump. I mean, it's tough. This is a tough setup. Let's not lie, by the way, or not mislead. That's not gonna make it. Just accept that one's not gonna make it. We do, it's also like sometimes people, the #1 defense for levels that are, in my opinion, slightly too hard, which can also be fun for the record, but the #1 defense is like, well, the creator clear checked it. Yeah, but Mario's kind of like cooking, you know? You can cook a crappy meal. But Toast Hut, forgive me, I'm not saying your level's crappy. But you can cook a crappy meal, and then when you eat it, because you made it, you're like, this is incredible. I should work at like Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. I mean, you're not making it on that one. And then when you feed it to other people who are not tainted by the blemish of bias, they go, it's okay, but maybe we could just go to McDonald's instead. So that's, I think that there's always going to be a bias, depending on your personality, a bias for the level creator to find their level easy, because they built it. You built it. And when you build it, you know, they will come. Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner. I'm realizing now, this first episode may just be solving the first checkpoint. I've bitten off more than I can chew. I've allowed hubris to get the better of me. Let me roleplay as the comments here temporarily. Here's a comment that's gonna happen. It's pretty easy, you just jump where the coins are. It's not that simple, okay? It's like you're talking to Charles Leclerc, the #2, but actually he's the best driver for Ferrari. No offense, Sebastian Vettel stands. And you're going, it's pretty simple. You just turn, you know, where you guys practiced in the simulator to turn. Yeah, you're traveling 330 kilometers an hour through a 6-foot wide road in downtown Monaco. And you're going, just turn here, you know? Just downshift 25 times. Turn your DRS off. Apply medium braking pressure and turn your steering wheel at an 11.6 degree angle. If you turn it at an 11.7 degree angle, you're going to hit the wall. 11.5, you're going to hit the other wall. But it's not that hard. I mean, you just take the turn, forehead. It's just, there's a 2 different degree of difficulties. One would be obtuse difficulty. Like that one checkpoint in Apollo's Nightmare level, which was basically like a shell-throwing maze, where you just go, I don't know what to do. And then there's another degree of difficulty, which is the path is clear, but not easy. Like the path to becoming an influencer. In 2010, very obtuse, nobody knew what was happening. The path to becoming a doctor, very simple, but a lot of hard work. Am I saying it's harder to be an influencer than a doctor? No. For a time, it was rarer. Those times have passed. It's definitely much easier. Okay. Look at that. We're back, boys. My personal opinion, checkpoint here would be real nice, but I know that's that sort of thing isn't my bag, baby. Oh, I didn't think we were gonna make it. Okay. So obviously, we're gonna go right. And by right, I mean left. Clockwise. We're gonna go clockwise, hit the spring, get the key, and then hopefully land in the claw again. That was close. We're at least I'm sure once we get the key and make it back, we're going through that pipe. And through that pipe is gonna be a checkpoint. I think we're doing better than I actually expected here. This is not easy though. This is a genuinely very difficult level. But this part, that part's a no-brainer now. This part, getting there. Slowly but surely, getting there. Okay, great work. I will say the only clear on this level has a game time of 66 minutes, which is not impossible. For us to do, but like 66 minutes really is 66 minutes of Mario time. Mario time. Which is, I don't know, probably like close to 2 hours of actual playtime when you factor in like deaths and respawning and the etceteras and the etceteras, the myriad etceteras. Excuse me, I guess the claw decided it was taking the day off. I didn't realize. Okay, this is, you don't have to sweat this too much. You know, you're doing great, sweetie. We've made a reasonable amount of progress here. There you go. That one's not making it. You knew immediately that one wasn't making it, but I always find like the philosophy of practice is such a strange thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm very pro practice. If you want to be good at something, you know, it's a young person's mindset to just be naturally talented. Because, you know, like don't take this the wrong way. A lot of people who think they're good at things, their frame of reference is like, you know, 25 other kids in their 7th grade class. They're like, I'm good at math because, you know, in my 10th grade calculus class, I got the 2nd highest mark. That doesn't mean you're not good at math, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we're talking about esports. We're talking about esports here. I'm competing against 15 million Zoomers, Millennials, and Gen X. There we go. I was like, what? They're always the forgotten generation, Gen X. They're always in my mentions telling me, hey, you forgot about Gen X. And I'm like, I didn't forget. I saw Reality Bites. Okay. So if you want to be, you know, at that level, you know, practice. Oh, it's there's nothing else you can do but practice. But it's so strange to me that, like, do you ever think about how lucky we are that the human brain just gets better at things for the most part the more it does it? I mean, like, there are, as mentioned several times throughout the Dark Souls Let's Play, or Dark Souls 3 gameplay, there's always, like, often, I should say, a regression that comes before progress. But in general, if you were to, like, plot it on a graph, as number of attempts goes up, so does success, so does skill. You know, number of times you get hit by the boss goes down, Estus use goes down, etc., etc. So, like, I always think, like, I mean, you take it for granted because it's just the way, it's not making it. It's just the way it is. But, you know, imagine if the human brain was built so, like, imagine if it was built like a muscle in the sense that, and I know that it is a muscle, but imagine if it was built like a muscle in the sense that, like, you know, your first set was the strongest and then it would just became, like, saturated with lactic acid. Oh, that was scary. Don't get me wrong, it can happen. You can have, like, mental fog or fatigue from trying this stuff for too long. And then it benefits you to take some time off, but for the most part, I feel like it's got much better tolerance than, like, you know, your deltoids. Dude, that's tough. That's a, I don't think maybe we can afford to have it swing so far. That's a really tricky obstacle. Just making it there is interesting, is exciting enough, but, you know, I also have to realize we have to learn the other part of this level. Like, we have to learn that right side of this map going backwards. Which, in principle, doesn't seem that hard, but it is a whole new set of muscle memory to get programmed in there. Okay, I mean, that was real solid. I feel real good about that. I don't feel so great about that, but that's okay. Good? Good? Oh, not good. I said good before we even saw where the jump was taking us. Would not recommend. Would not recommend. But yeah, really, like, as long as we're talking shop here, any opportunity to play Mario Maker is a good opportunity for me. I liked this. It was probably in my top 5 games of 2019. You know, up there with Slay the Spire was up there. I mean, #1. Tetris 99 was up there. Played some very, very good stuff in 2019. But Mario Maker, I mean, I just love them. You're seeing a similarity between all these games. You know, a common thread. What's the story of Super Mario Maker? Nobody cares. Oh, the castle's broken. You gotta beat a bunch of easy levels to rebuild the gallery wing of Peach's castle. Absolutely not. No thank you. On the other hand, oh, the mechanics. It's the same thing with Slay the Spire, you know? Slay the Spire does have a story. I got 9,000 hours in the game. I got no idea what the story is. Here's the story. Remove as many basic defense from your deck as possible, as early as possible. Replace it with cool cards that do good things. That's the story. The story is the story of me beating Ascension 20 after 9 months straight of losses. And that's the story of Mario Maker too. It's emergent gameplay. It's not about the story of Luigi and Mario and Princess Peach and Toad and Toadette. It's the story of one man inching his way towards mastery. One spin jump at a time. Well, if you really want to master the game, why don't you play levels that are not just Super Mario World? Why don't you play some like NES levels, or maybe even, God forbid, some 2D, 3D Super Mario 3D Land levels? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. That's sacrilege. We're not making that one. Look, when they stop making great Super Mario World levels, maybe we'll talk about that. But for now, they have not stopped making great Super Mario World levels. So I don't feel the need to switch. I'm happy with my cable provider. Great stuff. We're getting so much more consistent there that part almost feels easy. Just follow the coins, Forehead. That one's for the follow the coins brigade. I followed all the coins, and yet somehow we still didn't hit the claw. See, you can't live your life. Not everything is gold and transparent. You know, like black and white, but with coins. Specifically here. Probably should have said gold and silver. Would have made a little bit more sense. Plus, you get the Pokemon tangent. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Just gonna be honest, I believe on that swig of coffee, somehow cat hair got involved. I don't know. It's a little gross. But, you know, Kate will tell you as well. When you live with cats, you're gonna eat some cat hair. No matter, like, you know, you could clean the place 20 times a day. All it takes, it's like, you know, at the start of Forrest Gump, where you follow that feather that, you know, falls down from the clouds, and it eventually lands next to Forrest Gump. That's basically like the cat hair, you know? They might be up in our bedroom or something like that. They shed. The HVAC system carries it down and just happens to deposit it, like, right in your eyeball. Then multiply that by, you know, the 15 million hairs that they have. You can get rid of the visible cat hair with some work, but the aerosolized cat hair, that's just the part of the cost of doing business. A cat, I was gonna say ownership, but that feels weird. Cat friendship, let's put it that way. It's not gonna stop me from drinking my coffee, though. You know what? I'm realizing I don't think it was cat hair. I think it was, you know, this coffee's a little older. It's a little, ice cube. It's a little half-melted ice cube. Small enough to fit through the straw. That then felt a little solid and a little confusing, but melted quite quickly, so I thought, maybe it's a cat hair. It's not a great performance there. I mean, are we making progress? Yes. But it's invisible progress. It's off-season training. Just because we're not getting further every time does not mean we're not making progress. I really look to Mario Maker as like, there's multifaceted progress. Really what you want to do is minimize repeated deaths. The less you die on obstacles you know how to get through, the more chances you get faster, or the more chances you get in the same time frame, I should say, to tackle new obstacles, which really, like, you know, even if an obstacle's intuitive, you gotta program it into the computer brain before you know what to do with it. Just because the coins are there, you know, your brain doesn't go, oh, just go for the coins. But you know, it's a complex firing a multifaceted neurological reaction featuring billions of neurons, tendons, muscles, etc., etc., all acting in tandem with one another. So at 25 minutes into this level, I mean, here's the thing. I will say rude things about my friends' levels, because that's kind of, everyone thinks of the spirit of friendship is that you're, like, nice to one another. In my experience, that's not really what it's like. I think I'm polite to strangers, and I try to be nice to my friends, don't get me wrong. But also, you know, if Apollo's level is too hard, I'm like, yeah, this is too hard. I don't like this. If, you know, an acquaintance's level is, like, a little tricky, here's what I'll say. We haven't earned that level of honesty with one another. That level of frankness, let's say. It behooves me to use more tact. This level, or at least this part of this level, is a little bit too hard for me. Not too hard for me to beat, but too hard for me to enjoy. And it's not even, like, this early section, I don't mind. I know there's a lower path there, but I don't know. I'm assuming that the question mark block is gonna, like, lead to a 1-up or something like that. We've learned the upper path, so we might as well take it. Like, that section is whatever. It's really the claws and saws section that comes after this that I find, a little, like, draconian. Oh, the Muncher. The Muncher hitbox. It's out of control. But it is what it is. You know, again, we got Checkpoint League playoffs coming up soon. You know my philosophy. I don't always think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. For example, eating a bag of Doritos every day. Not gonna kill you, at least not right away. Certainly not gonna make you stronger. Might make your plumbing stronger. That's about it. Now, I know that it's originally, the idiom is supposed to apply to hardships. You might not describe eating a bag of Doritos as a hardship. Once again, it might be a hardship for your toilet, but that's not for me to say. But I think with respect to Mario, what doesn't kill you does make you stronger, you know? Even if we're not getting mechanically better at Mario, and I think we are getting a little bit mechanically better at Mario, but even if we weren't, we're getting the chance to test our psychological mettle. Not get tilted. Not throw away runs that had no reason to be thrown away. You know, it's a good practice. What I am realizing here, though, is that we were not even going to get checkpoint 1 in this video. Probably. Will we keep it going? Yes. We will keep it going. It will, like, again, Toast Hut, the creator of the level, in Mouth's chat, said checkpoint 1 is the hardest part of the level. But they said it like the way that, because I've talked to Apollo about his levels a lot. You get very smug. I mean, I'm the same way, honestly. Not about my levels, but about, like, when I beat Platformality 2. I was like, yeah, you know, the only hard part is Screen 7. Screen 7 took me like an hour by itself. All the other ones took me like 40 minutes by them, like, each. It's not like that was the only hard part. It's just the hardest. So when somebody say, especially a level creator, when they go, LOL, this is maybe the hardest part of the whole level, I'm like, okay, so, like, what that tells me is that probably the whole thing is balanced, but you're doing, like, a sales job right now because you don't want me to get disheartened. You're like, hey, once you get through this, you're almost, you know, you've beaten 33% of the level, but you've gotten through 38% of the difficulty. That one wasn't even freaking close, dude. It wasn't even freaking close. Alright, alright, alright. Keep it moving, brother. Keep it moving. I would like to at least make some progress before we give up on this one. We can talk some more admin stuff, too. So, like, I'll tell you straight up, one of the things that comes up a lot is people go, NL, why don't you play Endless anymore? I think there's a lot of enjoyment in Endless. I think there's a lot of enjoyment in Endless. For sure. I really liked playing Endless Expert when I was just getting into Super Mario Maker 2. But I think playing so many good Super Expert levels has spoiled me. You know, it's like I can't even feel pain nor pleasure if I don't die 70 times per screen in Mario Maker anymore. So we could play Endless Super Expert, but I feel like, I know you get 100 lives. 100 lives by itself is already like kind of too much to fit in a video, which may or may not matter, because like obviously this level is going to take us more than one video. But I mean, it's the long and short of it is I actually just prefer dedicating myself to like one curated level that's if not necessarily well liked, because it's not like this one's disliked, but it just hasn't had that many plays. It seems like kind of the appropriate level of difficulty for me. Good stuff, good stuff. But I prefer this level, or this type of Super Mario Maker. Now, you know, I'm giving you the opportunity to vote with your eyeballs. Some people might say, and don't take too much offense to this, sometimes I have to make jokes at part of my audience's expense just to stay sane. Just the cost of doing business. Many people who don't do what I do tell me how to do what I do all the time. Because I think the job has such a low barrier to entry, and, you know, there's a lot of transparency in the way the business is run. You know, like, we're making farm-to-table videos. I record it. It's Monday. It's coming out, like, less than 24 hours after I record it. It's not like we're sending it to a processing lab in Boise, Idaho, where they're going to inject, like, some flavor molecules into it. It's like anybody can make a Mario Maker video. So I hear people, they're like, if I were you, for business reasons, I would play Endless, because you get a greater variety of levels. So you're operating under the assumption that a greater variety of levels is more enjoyable to watch than one level repeated 20,000 times. And I think that, honestly, you may be right, but too many people are quick to jump to the idea that that is right by default without actually testing it. So I'm giving you the opportunity here. For feedback, sure, I'd love to have your feedback about what you think you'd like more. But also, you know, we're gonna see how the videos do. And again, the other thing is, Mario's in a little bit of it's kind of our holding pattern game for the time being. Probably, let's expand on the video runtime here for a little bit. Really, like, you might be I think I've framed the discussion like we're looking for a long game to play, which is not the case. We may end up playing a longer project like XCOM, regardless of what my desire is, just because I'm feeling a little bit of the itch right now. But we may not. Don't get your hopes up for that necessarily. This is all fledgling, up in the air George Clooney stuff. However, really, like, so if you remember, like, if you watch my channel update 6 weeks ago, I talk about how we played Enter the Gungeon, or we played Stone Shard, and Stone Shard went on too long, in my opinion, even though I had a great time. Then, I said, we're gonna start cycling games faster. We played Exit the Gungeon for like 6 days. That's good. We cycled it. Then we played One Step from Eden. Legitimately thought it was gonna last less than 2 weeks. We played it for 45 episodes. That's a testament to the quality of Eden. However, I do still like the idea of keeping this time slot as a little bit more of a variety slot. A little bit more of like a flex. We can play little miniature series in this time slot. We don't have to do, you know, this isn't my 90 episode time slot. You know, this is really where like things are getting rotated in and out. But we'll see. That's where I'm at right now, and you know, it's a collaborative process. It's collaborative between me and the audience. That's about it. And it's not collaborative with anybody else. Although maybe we'll get Malph in for something at some point. when he gets tired of making 3-hour-long modded RimWorld videos. Okay. So that, I mean, I don't know what you were doing there. I'll tell you, like, this one, I think we're pretty much... Like, this video is tapped out. I want you to know, I did at least think we were gonna get one checkpoint. I also thought it was possible we might just be a Wunderkind and complete the whole level. I'm gonna give it one more good try. This Claws and Saws section, Toast Hut, don't be mad at what I'm about to say here. This is just my honest appraisal. This Claws and Saws section is a nightmare. It is and again, you know me, if you watched a lot of my episodes, it's not like I try to go off on levels, at least not anymore. So I'm not like upset. Let me put it this way though. It's a section I would not put in a level I made myself. It's something like... One more good try. You know, like, in Mario, my favorite kind of level is a level that, when you watch someone play it, it looks very impressive, but the actual steps to complete it are not easy, but somewhat simple. Like, levels with, like, multiple consecutive shell throws to switches are, like, some of my favorite. Because they look super cool, but really are not that difficult to do in practice. This is the exact opposite. It looks insanely easy, but in reality is like, it's 10 times more finicky. Look, you saw the level code at the start of this, put it in, play it for yourself. It looks easy, but in reality it's like 10 times more finicky than you could possibly imagine. I really don't want to open this little mini-series by tapping out of a level. I'm faced with a choice. I'm like, am I going to tap out of a level? Or am I going to try to play, you know, this one level for 4 or 5 episodes and possibly kill this series in its infancy? It's a difficult decision. I know we can just make that in one go, but... Oh my god. I mean, okay, I'll give it one more try at this point. Those saws are actually... They suck. There you, I said it, okay? I've taken off the veil of diplomacy. Look, okay, come on, it's gotta be better than that. I mean, we got one more real try. I know you had to put something there, don't get me wrong. You can't just have the claws. That's kind of, you know, on Super Expert, if you're just gonna put claws, you might as well just put like one straight platform you can walk on. That time we should have just gone straight. We should just... I think you should always just go straight after you hit the switch. The only danger in my mind is like... You know, once you cross your wires like that, you do run the risk of screwing up your muscle memory on your first loop, but... yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. And, you know, it's my fault. I chose the level. I even saw it in action and said to myself... Yeah, that's appropriate difficulty. And maybe it is, but it's... Okay, we didn't do what I said I was going to do there. It's more of an appropriate difficulty for a stream. For now, we're going to be back. We're going to keep trying this checkpoint 1. This is a nightmare, but go check out Toasty's level if you're interested in checking it out for yourself. Toast Hut's level, I should say. For now, thanks for watching. If you watched all 38 minutes and 50 seconds up to this point, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. It's the single best way to send a message to YouTube. Hey, this guy's making content. It's not clickbaited pranks on his wife and mom, but still, you should show it to people, and YouTube will say, nope. But I appreciate the support regardless. Click the like button if you enjoyed the episode, and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll be in the comments. I'll see you next time. See ya!